Did you know there's an Egyptian god whose only job is to make sure you get laid in the afterlife? Well, let me tell you about it. These are the top 5 most violent Egyptian gods and goddesses. Ding. This list is filled with decapitation, eyeball gouging, and heart eating. Who needs Jeffrey Dahmer when you got Egyptian gods and goddesses? Am I right? Number 5, MAFDET. MAFDET was an early goddess usually depicted as a cat who represented protection from venomous animals and execution. When she wasn't a cat, she was a woman with a cat's head, and she had a headdress made of scorpion tails and snakes. So basically, she's my mom now. I love you, Mom. You're such a badass. She was very much tied to execution, so when you saw her around, it wasn't just because there was a dangerous snake on the ground that you needed protection from. Nope, sometimes she was there to kill ya. One of her depictions was as a cat running up an executioner's staff. Kinda cute, kinda creepy. Mostly cute to me, to be honest, but the reason why little kitten lady was running up the executioner's staff is because MAFDET would decapitate you in death if you were the enemy of Pharaoh. Blows that she's working for the man, but at least she's feared, right? And by the way, the point of decapitation and death is that you cannot come back from that. You can't come back to be a god, you can't join the godly realm if your body is mutilated. It's kicking you when you're down, or decapitating you when you're dead, more accurately. She's also the goddess that resulted from the Egyptians noticing that cats would drop dead animals at people's feet, which is a very weird thing that cats do. In MAFDET's case, she would leave the hearts of evildoers at the feet of the pharaoh. Hearts she ripped out herself. Good kitty. Number 4, AMMIT. AMMIT, devourer of the dead, is a very badass way to be spoken about. She would be a wonderful professional wrestler. Coming to the ring, AMMIT, devourer of the dead. To be fair, she wasn't worshipped as much as she was feared. Demons were conduit creatures that helped the gods and goddesses with their bidding. AMMIT was composed of the most feared animals in Egypt. Head of a crocodile, front body of a lion, and the back body of a hippo. Seems rude that they would make her back a hippo, but at least she's got yeets, right y'all? Booty, 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 booty. In Egyptian mythology, gaining entrance to the underworld meant getting some important organs removed and put into jars. You heard that right. If you are going into the underworld, that means that you have to sacrifice some of your organs to keep in jars. I don't know why. Once you died, the god Anubis weighed your heart against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of justice and truth. If the heart was heavier than the feather, it was impure, and AMMIT would eat it, thus dooming you to wander as a restless spirit. God, I bet there were a lot of restless spirits wandering around back then. I've never met anyone with a heart lighter than a feather. Number 3, SHEZMU. SHEZMU was a lesser god of execution, slaughter, blood, and wine. Wine? Yes, wine. Because he was known to remove the heads of wrongdoers and put them into wine press. Murder, I love it. It's like a really dark version of that episode of I Love Lucy where she's stomping on all the grapes, but instead of grapes, they're heads. Cool. He served the head wine to the righteous dead to welcome them to the afterlife. So you're making the righteous people commit cannibalism. Seems counterintuitive, but I'm not here to judge other people's death rituals. Except, yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm literally only judging people all of the time. Every single episode of the show is me judging somebody, so don't feed good people head wine. Judgment made. Number 2, BABI. BABI is the bull of baboons. Bull in this context means dominant male. BABI is the keeper of the eternal boner. Sound weird? Yeah, it is. Here's the thing about BABI. He's an underworld deity with a big old donger that's used as a mast for the ship that carries souls into the afterlife. So they are literally, their souls of the dead are being ushered into the afterlife by a monkey penis. Okay. Oh, and he'll eat your intestines if he doesn't like you as well. So look out for that. You invoke his name if you want to have successful sex in the afterlife. If you need a monkey to make you better at sex, I don't know what to tell you. May I suggest communication and careful listening? No, you want the monkey god with the eternal boner? Cool, go for that. You could also just ask questions, but you'd rather the monkey boner. I get it. It's easier. Women are hard. You're not, literally. Get it? Like boners. Number 1, SET and HORUS. Okay, quick background. Set, or Seth, is the closest thing the Egyptians have to the god of evil. He's the brother of Osiris, the ruler of Egypt. Osiris is married to his own sister, Isis, which is a person's name, by the way, not just a terrorist organization, it's also a person's name. Osiris and Isis had a son named Horus. Set is jealous of his brother Osiris. He makes a big coffin that he brings to a dinner party, which is a weird gift to bring to a dinner party, but it's different times, different people, that's fine. Set says that he'll give it to whoever fits perfectly inside. No one thinks that this is weird for some reason, so everybody gets in trying to fit perfectly into their coffin. But little did they know it was built to fit Osiris perfectly. And when Osiris gets in, Set nails it closed, covers it with molten lead, and tosses it into the Nile. Osiris dies like anyone would when thrown into an airtight coffin covered in molten lead. Amazingly, Isis managed to find the chest containing her brother husband and brought it back to Egypt, but Set discovered it, opened it up, and tore his brother's corpse into 14 separate pieces and hid them along the entirety of the Nile. After Isis gathered up most of her brother husband's corpse, reassembled it so he could be properly buried and sent into the afterlife, where he became the king, by the way, her son Horus declared war on his evil uncle Set. Standard procedure, I know. Well, not exactly, because rather than fight a regular battle, the two of them were just determined to mess with each other for eternity. Here are a few of Horus and Set's battles. At one point, Horus and Ra, the sun god, were hanging out when Seth came by disguised as a giant pig. Haha. Ra was like, damn, that's a big pig. And Horus was like, I gotta go check out that big old pig. So Horus approached the giant pig that had come out of nowhere, and that's when Seth lit Horus's goddamn eyeballs on fire. Then he just ran away laughing. How do you even set an eyeball on fire? What? Later, after Horus had recovered from the eyeball fire, Seth tore out both of his eyes and planted them in the ground, where they turned into lotus trees. That must have been very annoying for Horus, but overall a pretty ecological and beautiful prank, I would say. Horus was not just gonna take an L though, no. During the decades of battle, at one point Horus challenged Seth to a boat race down the Nile, where the two of them had to use boats made of stone. That's dumb. Seth was game, but he didn't realize that Horus had a boat made of wood painted to look like stone. Seth sank and Horus won. Sure, that's not quite on the level of constantly destroying someone's eyeballs, but it's almost worse for how petty it is. It's very petty. If anyone challenges you to a boat race with boats made out of stone, simple answer, no. Stone doesn't float. Haha! Gods, they're just like us. Petty as fuck. But also with nefarious powers and a penchant for killing, so only kind of just like us. Moral of the story, none of these people are great. None of them are great people. Or gods. Thank you guys so much for watching Dark 5. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment and tell me, Rachel, I enjoyed it. Thank you for your hard work. Subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications and turn on the bell for birdie notifications. Oh, bye. She's gotta go check. She got a notification. She's gotta go check it. Get it, birdie? Oh, it's a new subscriber. How about that?